Are you ready for the September vaccine rollout because the White House just told us to get it? I mean, I got information today that will literally shock you because I just couldn't believe that they actually let this information out.
Mr. President, have you said anything about the uptick of COVID cases and the new variant?
Yes, I can. Matter of fact, I signed off this morning on a proposal we have to present to the Congress a request for additional funding for a new vaccine that is necessary, that works. And tentatively, not decided finally yet, tentatively it is recommended that, or would likely be recommended that everybody get it, no matter whether they got it before.
What do you guys think? So it doesn't matter if you've gotten one before, just know that you're gonna need to get another one again, or else. I mean, they should just say that at the end of these phrases, right, on the streets in a mini press, right? Because that's exactly what it sounds like. Kind of like saying, well, you know, we only recommend that you get this jab, but we're telling you now that you really need to get it or else. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But it's not just the president of the United States, though. Of course, the White House has to share the same story when they've been asked about these new jabs.
Secondly, the president said in Tahoe that he had tentatively decided to recommend everyone get the new vaccine. When is he going to decide finally?
So as I think you've heard from the FDA and CDC, they've made an announcement on the new vaccine. So certainly they said that there'll be an updated vaccine mid-September, I believe. So we know that, as you all know, vaccinations against COVID-19 remains the safest protection for avoiding hospitalization, long-term health outcomes, and death, which is why we are going to be encouraging Americans to stay up to date on their vaccines. I would refer you to DHS, as they have, I just mentioned, FDA and CDC mentioned that they'll have the new vaccines by mid-September.
And it's coming, folks. Now, before we even continue, do you believe that the jabs have helped with long-term health outcomes? I mean, we all know that there's been a lot of complications when it comes to our hearts and these vaccines. Tell you what, if you're hesitant about getting jabbed again, go ahead and smash the like button. And if you feel as if we're not being told everything once again about these jabs, make sure you subscribe to the channel, all right? So now let's go ahead and dig a little bit deeper into this whole new variant situation, all right? So it's called the BA.2.86. And of course, it's still worrying, right? Being told that a new variant is coming, it would make anybody think that lockdowns are back on the table. Although I, for one, am hoping that these lockdowns are not going to be reinforced. But for those who have already gotten the jab, there's no need to worry because these new variants prove a higher risk for those who have already gotten the jab. Oh, wait, hold on. That must be a typo somewhere. So you mean to tell me that if you actually got the vaccine before, this new variant will actually stick to you even easier? I mean, like, what the F, right? I thought that these things were actually supposed to be protecting us. Like, guys, I can't make this stuff up, y'all. But you could go ahead and check the CDC's website. It is right there. So you're telling me that if I got the jab 3 years ago, then I would have put myself at even more risk today? Does that even make sense? And I got to be careful what I say here on this platform because, you know, so much has changed. A lot of the rules have changed up, so I got to be careful, right? So if you happen to see that this video doesn't get as many views, it's probably because it's been suppressed. Now, if it gets more than normal views, then it's probably because you guys have been liking this video so much and sharing it all over the place. So I just want to thank you guys in advance for that. You know, with what I just said about the policy changes, it's kind of funny to see one group's name pop up a lot more. Now, as you can see, the World Health Organization, aka people who we didn't vote into power but have so much power over us, they control the basic narrative of the entire drive to push out misinformation, which means they may be preparing us and creators like me specifically to be pushed down in the algorithm because, you know, just like a lot of free thinkers, I analyze data and I make logical opinions known. Do you guys think that this is such a bad thing? By the way, if you own a home, make sure your home is protected. Get your free home warranty quote. There's a link in the description down below. It only takes like 10 seconds. And since I already talked about lockdowns a little while ago, are any of you guys prepared to wear masks again? Or even maybe those face shields, maybe with the windshield wipers on them? Goodness, like those things are just horrible looking, aren't they? It's like you're about to do a welding job or something, and then you get to smell your own breath all day.
There is a new COVID variant, just as COVID hospitalizations are on the rise. Of course, we're still way below where we were at the peak of the outbreak, as you can see here, but you can see over the past week, hospitalizations are up almost 22% nationwide, and this was the 5th straight week that number has gone up. Lisa's here now with Dr. Malika Marshall to help us understand what exactly is happening here.
Yeah, well, David, I guess our question for you, doctor, is One of the first big questions, should we be masking again? And who should be masking?
Well, it depends. I mean, obviously anybody is welcome to mask up whenever they'd like to, but certainly people at high risk of complication from COVID-19 should wear a high-quality mask, an N95 or a KN95, when they're in crowds and in public spaces. I would do that now. That includes seniors, especially those over the age of 80, people with diabetes or cancer, heart disease, chronic kidney, liver, and lung disease, or really any immunocompromised state.
But yeah, masks, right? So Fauci himself said earlier in the health crisis that they don't do jack squat, a statement that he later changed, by the way. But it doesn't change the fact that he said that they were worthless. So a simple question, like, would you, if you were told to, would you wear a mask again? Like maybe if it's an indoors event, maybe a plane ride, maybe you have to wear it at work all day long for like 8 or 9 hours. Like what if your boss said, all right, starting tomorrow, y'all got to start wearing masks, but managers don't have to? How many of you guys will actually follow this new specific mandate? I'm just curious. One that may have actually been implemented during the health crisis. Now, I know for a fact that some countries still force people to wear masks in their hospitals, but you can see that their staff aren't even wearing their own mask properly. Now, what I find real weird here is that they're not taking any advice from experts that they initially deemed wrong. But as time went on, well, we found out that this wasn't the case. Would we then have to listen to people who were proven right after a few years? Because you and I are very aware that some people had their platform just completely pulled out right from under their feet. And this was because they had a different opinion, different state of mind, a mind that questioned the pandemic and what was happening. So again, are we supposed to just listen to a single body of governance that none of us actually voted on? I'm just wondering here, right? Florida, though, has been one of those states that bent the norm during the health crisis. And their state health officer and Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo, he called out the federal government for mandates that, well, didn't work. So he's basically saying here that lockdowns cause a lot of harm, something that I've proven to you guys as we saw depression shoot up amongst other things that I just can't talk about here on this current platform. I gotta follow YouTube's rules. He also says that those terrible policies that the government tries to impose on us, like masks and lockdowns, only work if we're cooperative, kind of like being submissive to whatever is laid out in front of us. He also had the most interesting question at the end. What if we refuse to participate? What if we said no? Because just like what the president said, this is a recommendation. It's not a mandate. Like I could recommend a good movie or a great restaurant to you, right? I'm not going to expect you to watch it because I'm not forcing you to watch it. But if I do make a movie recommendation, I will tell you why you need to watch it. You see where I'm going with this? Because that person will ask me for sure, like, why do I need to watch this movie? What's in it for me? Is this really going to be life-changing? Is it worth my time and my money? Now, if I acted like how people in power acted, I'd basically just say, just watch the freaking movie, stop asking logical questions, and just watch the gosh darn movie, right? Why are we so discouraged from making our own opinions? Like, why are we so discouraged from making our own opinions known nowadays and asking logical questions? Like, why do some people fear asking questions? I don't fear it, but some people do. Are you afraid of asking questions? Are we now in a world where changes to our lives will require little to no explanation at all? Is that the world you want to live in? Make sure you guys let me know in the comment section down below. And before I go, I just want to thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thanks for engaging in this intelligent conversation with me. Thanks for liking the video. Thanks for subscribing. And I'm going to catch you guys on the next one.